Hello, my name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, then welcome to my channel. So full transparency, today's video was supposed to be something else, but I woke up at like 4 a.m. with a really bad headache. So I do feel better now, but I am still kind of feeling like a little bit of the effects from it. So I thought today I would just do something a little more chill and just do a book tag. So you already know by the title, but the tag I chose to do today is called the Netflix book tag, and it was originally created by a darker shade of Whitney, and I will have her video linked down in the description below so you can check that out if you have not already. And with that, let's just get into it. This tag has 12 questions total, the first of them being, recently watched the last book you finished reading. So the last book I finished, which I actually did like the day before I'm filming this video, and that book is The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. This book is about a princess who flees from her kingdom on her wedding day. She just wants to live a normal life in a small town, however that gets turned upside down when the prince and an assassin show up, and the story goes from there. So I guess what I'll say about this is kind of like a teaser for my June wrap-up almost, but I liked it more than I thought I would, and I am very interested in reading the sequels for this. The next question is top picks, a book or books that have been recommended to you based on the books you have previously read. I just let Goodreads pick this out for me, and these 3 books are just based off of my read shelves. So the first 2 books that it actually recommended me were A Court of Thorns and Roses and also Crescent City, both by Sarah J. Maas. But since I have and plan to read both of those books already, I had to look to the third option, which was Shatter by Tahereh Mafi. Which I did find interesting because I know it's like a really popular series and everything, but for some reason I just never thought about reading it before. Yeah, so I definitely may have to give that series a try now. If you've read this series, let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are on it. So the next question is recently added, the last book you bought. I don't know why I'm calling these questions, by the way. I just realized that they're much more like categories than questions. Anyway, the last book I bought was Jackpot by Nic Stone. I actually don't have it with me because I just ordered it and it hasn't come in yet. But it is about a girl who works as a cashier when she sells the winning lottery ticket, and she uses this as a sign for her luck finally turning itself around. However, the only problem is the winner hasn't claimed the money yet. So our main character works with this rich classmate of hers to try to help find this person who won the money. I'm actually really excited to read this one. I typically have trouble finding contemporaries that like appeal to me right off the bat, but this was definitely one of the few that did, and I'm really excited. So the next category is popular on Netflix, books that everyone knows about, 2 you've read, and 2 you have no interest of reading. So I actually had trouble picking the 2 that I've already read because I read a lot of hyped books. The 2 I ended up going with were To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han and Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. And as for the 2 that I'm about to name for like I'm not interested in reading them, I'm definitely not saying never on these. But as for right now, I have no plans to read them. And those 2 books are 5 Feet Apart by Rachael Lippincott and also One of Us is Lying by Erin and McManus. So the next category is comedies, and the criteria for that is a funny book. So my typical answers for this would probably be like either Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin or also Aurora Rising by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I wanted to pick a contemporary this time around because I feel like I'm always talking about fantasy books and some of my favorite contemporaries just get like pushed off to the side. So for this I am going with Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. So if you don't know what this book is about, it follows our main character Alex, whose mother is the President of the United States. The tabloids catch him having a public altercation with the Prince Henry. So to do damage control, these 2 strike up an Instagram friendship. However, that friendship turns into something more, and if found out, then that could derail Alex's mother's re-election campaign. So this book definitely made me laugh at times, and I remember just smiling through so much of it. I just thought it was so cute and fluffy, and I just loved every second of it. So the next category is dramas, a character who is a drama queen or king. So I feel like all of the characters from the Mortal Instruments qualify for this, right? Yeah, I'm gonna go with that for my answer. So next category is animated, a book with cartoons on the cover. So the book I chose for this is Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell. It is a graphic novel about these 2 characters here. They work at a pumpkin patch every year together, however this is their last year. And this book follows them as they deal with that. It's like a really cute fall story, and as you can tell, the cover is animated, so it qualifies. So the next category is Watch It Again, a book or book series that you want to reread. So my answer for this is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. It is about our main character who lives in a small village that is surrounded by like this dark, evil, magical forest. To keep them safe from these dark forces, the village relies on this wizard who is known as the Dragon. However, for his assistance, he demands 1 girl from the village every 10 years. So when I first read this, I focused on the romance so much that I feel like I definitely could have enjoyed like the other aspects of this book a little more. So that's definitely one of the reasons why I want to reread this, but let's face it, if I ended up rereading this, I would just do it for the romance again. Other than this book, there are some other of my favorites that I want to reread as well, like Renegades by Marissa Meyer, and also the Folk of the Air trilogy by Holly Black. The next category is documentaries, a non-fiction book you'd recommend to anyone. So for this I'm going to go with a poetry collection, and that is Helium by Rudy Francisco. It talks about, among other topics, race and gender, and there's like a lot of self-reflection stuff in here too. And I just really love this poet's writing style. I gelled with it like right away, which never happens. I do think this covers some important topics, so if you're looking for a poetry collection to read, maybe give this one a try if you haven't already. So the next category is action and adventure, which is an action-packed book. With all of the fantasy that I end up reading, you would think this question would be a lot easier than it turned out to be. So I'm just going to name a few here that I feel like qualify for this category, the first being Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi, and then the next being Truthwitch by Susan Dennard. I think both of these have a lot of action and adventure in them. And the other two books that I want to mention for this category, I remember them having like action right off the bat. Those two are Renegades by Marissa Meyer and also Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. And the next category is new releases, which is a book that just came out or will be coming out soon that you can't wait to read. So I actually just made a video about upcoming book sequels that I want to read. I think out of all those books that I mentioned in that video, the one that's coming out the earliest is The Crow Rider by Caitlin Josephson. And I think that's coming out like early July, but a non-sequel that I do want to read as well is This Is My America by Kim Johnson, which I think comes out in later July. So the last category is Max, which is just where you tag people. I don't really have anybody specific to tag, but if you're watching this and you want to do this tag, then go ahead, I tag you. So that's all I have for this video today. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and answer the question that'll be around here if you want to do that. And hopefully I will see you here next time. Bye.